This is Faraz here. I'm just going to show you how to do Lab 2 or how to get started doing Lab 2. This is just a quick introductory video about that. The place to start is on our Canvas page. We need to go to course content here on the left, and there you'll see the course website. At the very bottom in week 4, you'll see Lab 2. So click on that first. And then it says here to accept the lab on GitHub Classroom, you must first click this link. You may have noticed that if you click this link directly in Canvas, you'll get taken to an error page. Yeah, unfortunately, this is a problem, I agree. So what you have to do is right-click the link and then open in new tab. Okay, so go ahead and do that. And then you'll be able to accept your repository. That's a new repository that's been created for you with the same template code. Okay, so now that your repository has been created, you'll get a link. So the first thing you should do is copy the link, and just so you have it. And then when you click it, you'll get taken to the lab 2, and this is your username. Mine is Demo Faraz here. It looks a little bit weird here because I've got the font really high, so large so you can see it. But once you'll get taken to the regular page. You'll need to copy the clone URL here. Copy this, and then you open up your trusty terminal, you bring it back. The first thing you should do is go into the folder that you want to clone this repo. So I've got a test folder, I like to call it junk. So now in my junk folder, I do git clone and then paste the URL from right here. And then it has to have a .git at the end. So once I do that, I have now cloned into Lab 2 Demo Faraz, and then if I do an ls, I'll notice that I've got a bunch of stuff here, but Lab 2 is here. So to go into it and start my lab, I go cd Lab 2 tab, and there we have it. We now are in Lab 2. We can do a quick ls just to see a list of all the things that are in this directory. There's a license file, a readme, a folder called entrance, and then the Lab 2 itself. Okay, so here's where the fun begins. I decided it would be good to give you a treat of how to practice with the command line using a game. So this is much better than how I learned terminal, which is blindly entering commands into the terminal until I got it to do what I wanted. Hopefully this sets you up for success a little bit more and is a little bit fun as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to first set up for the game. You're going to open a terminal window, and then you're going to change your directory to where this file is currently located. So in your lab, you have a directory called entrance. You're already there. You're all set to go. I'm just going to type clear to clear my screen so that my cursor is at the top again. So the first thing you're going to do is when you type in ls, you're going to see ls, you're going to see a readme file, a license file, an entrance, and the Lab 2 instructions. So once you go into the entrance directory, the command line based game will begin. So I'm going to go do that right now. I'm ready to start. After I finish part 1, I'm ready to start part 2. So I'm going to go into the entrance. And I go into the entrance of the dungeon using cd entrance. So before you get your hopes up, this is not a graphics-based game. This is a text-based game, and it's supposed to help you learn terminal commands. So you're going to be going into rooms, which are called directories in this game, and you're going to be opening scrolls using the cat command, C-A-T, which will just print out whatever the scroll contents are in the terminal, and we'll see an example of that. And you'll also be running some commands to use certain items. Like say if you find treasure on the ground, you can actually pick up that treasure using your environment variables. All right, so we're going to enter the entrance now. So we're going to do cd entrance inside our lab directory. And now you can see that from your path, you're in the entrance. The first thing you do whenever you enter any room in a dungeon or any file on a computer, you do ls. So ls will list everything that's in that directory. So here we see that there are two things. There's a cellar and a scroll. Okay, so the first command is very important. This is the thing that's going to set you up for success. Type in cat, C-A-T, scroll. And what this is going to do is it's going to list whatever is in the scroll into your terminal. So I'm going to now hit enter. And then there's a message here. It's pitch black in the catacombs. You're in a dungeon. You have a magical spell that lists all the items in a room. To see in the dark, type ls. To move around, type cd and then the directory name. So try looking around this room, then move into one of the other next rooms. So we're going to do what it says. It usually has a set of commands on what you should do next. And then it also has a reminder to do ls when you go into the next room. So let's type ls. We see, again, we have a cellar and a scroll. So there's nothing else to do in this room. We're going to go into the cellar. So the way to do that is to go into the cellar, cd cellar, and then again, the first thing you enter into the room is ls. So here you have an armory, another scroll, and some treasure. Okay, so whenever we see a scroll, we want to read that first. So do cat scroll, and then it'll give you some instructions. Here, it tells you it's difficult to tell what is a doorway and what is an object. The magic spell you use can be augmented with some arguments. Okay, so we're going to add an -f argument here to ls. That will let you see what directories are. They'll have a slash symbol. And if you have a star symbol, that's something that's a program. Okay, that's a program that can be run. So what we're going to do is we're going to type ls -f, and the minus is, it tells the terminal that there's an extra option that I'm giving it, which is capital F. When I do that, I can now see that there's an armory, a scroll, and a treasure. Okay, so we see there's a treasure. We obviously want to do something with that treasure. So let's try our usual command of how to, of reading the treasure. So we're going to do cat treasure, and then see what happens. It says, that didn't work. Try moving into the armory. Maybe you can come back to this treasure later. Okay, so we don't really know how to pick up the treasure yet. That's fine. Let's do another ls, see where we are, and then go into the armory. Okay, so we're heading into the armory with cd. Okay, so now we're in the armory. We're going to do another ls -f this time to see what is something that we pick up, what is in the directory, a room that we enter, and what is something that we read. Okay, so here things are getting interesting. We have a chamber, that's another room. It's got a slash in front of it. We've got a potion that's got a star, and also a treasure that's got a star. These are things that we're going to pick up, but we don't know how to do that yet. So let's go ahead and read the scroll. Okay, so here the scroll tells us that we can collect a treasure by executing the treasure, by executing that program using /. Okay, so the dot means don't move anywhere in this room, and then the slash tells you run the script that's called treasure. All right, so we're going to run the treasure here. We're going to go /treasure, and then it tells us that we found a sword. Okay, so we've got a silver sword now. And if you want to pick up the sword, you want to do this command here. This saves the sword in your environment variable. So we'll go export I equals I for inventory sword, and then whatever, and then we put a comma and then a $I. So that is the same variable again, but it's telling you that if I had anything else before I picked it up, I'm just going to add it back on and put the sword at the very front. Okay, so there we go. We've exported our sword, and if you want to check what's in our inventory, we do echo I. Okay. Oops, echo $I. I missed the $sign here. Make sure you don't miss that. That tells us that we have a sword and an amulet in our inventory. Okay, you may only have a sword at this point. That's fine. We do another ls. We see that there's still a potion. We do the same command to pick up the potion, /potion. And then it says, you have found a potion bottle of swirling green liquid. Do you want to drink it? Type yes for yes, type Y for yes, and anything else for no. So we're going to type Y to drink the potion. And then it's going to tell us that we want to create a new variable for your health points. You have 15 health points at the moment. So go ahead and do that. Export HP equals 15. That's another environment variable. We've got HP, and then we can check what our HP is by doing this. Okay, so we've got a health point of 15. So the reason this health point is here is that you're going to have some encounters with a couple of monsters, and you're going to try and fight them, and it's going to be random whether you beat the monster or not. But anyway, all this stuff will be done in the command line. It's a text-based game. I hope you have some fun with it. I found it entertaining and amusing, so I hope you do too. And it's also a way for you to learn all the terminal commands that you'll need in this course, and also hopefully later on as well. So once you're all done, you would do git add. There's a whole bunch of stuff you still need to do in the dungeon. Go ahead and do that. I'm not going to ruin everything for you. Go ahead and play around in the dungeon. And once you're all done, you can do a git add dot, git commit, and then a git push. And then you can see what's in your what's in that folder. And there's a couple of other things you need to do in here to make sure you get the marks. All right, that's it. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, again, please post on Piazza. Come to our office hours. We're happy to help and get you all going with this lab. Have a good week, everybody. Bye-bye. Take care.